The film Sinners, the more distance I have from it, the more I liked it. Is that an Oscar film?
I think there is a love for what Sinners is doing, that a studio movie was this interesting and creative. And
Hey, folks, thanks for joining us for the Todd Allbaugh Show. We have about 30 seconds till we kick it off.
Look who's back.
Live from the Civic Media World Headquarters in Madison, Wisconsin, it's the Todd Allbaugh Show. And now, pursuing truth wherever it may lead, here's your host, Todd Allbaugh.
Across Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network and streaming worldwide on the Civic Media app. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Todd Allbaugh, along with our producer and engineer, the fantastic Mr. Aaron Zommers, back on the board. It is 6 minutes past the hour of 2 o'clock on this Thursday, May 29th, 2025. It is a great day to be a Wisconsinite. Glad to have you along from the world headquarters of Civic Media in downtown Madison, Wisconsin on State Street. Zommers, welcome back. Glad you're here. It's a little overcast today, but all in all, not too bad. Nice day out here in Madison.
Yeah, and if we take a quick look at the Sam Davison Street View,
Yes. Look at that.
see,
People-
it's a little more bustling than it sometimes is at this hour.
Yes, yesterday we looked out there and it was like a desert. But yeah, people are moving around on bikes, walking around downtown Madison here. Not too bad at all. Glad to have you back. Speaking of Sam Davison, we had him on the show, filling in for you yesterday. And it was great because we got to thank him. He's leaving the company tomorrow. And so I'm sure he's not listening now, so it doesn't matter. But we talked about Great Sam's yesterday. And I said Hot Sam. And he had never heard of Hot Sam before. Have you heard of that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So I'm not sure if it's in existence anymore. But back in the day, it was one of my favorite, maybe my favorite part of going to West Town Mall or many malls in the state of Wisconsin because they had a Hot Sam shop. And a Hot Sam was a pretzel. And it kind of the precursor to the Auntie Anne's, which you see today.
Wikipedia, the article on Hot Sam's or Hot Sam starts out, Hot Sam Pretzels was an American restaurant chain. Yep, they closed in 2005.
I'm telling you, the country is going to hell in a handbasket.
It's all because of Hot Sam.
It's all because Hot Sam's went out of business. It was great. They had fresh hot pretzels, mustard, cheese sauce, the works. And it was a great meal when you went to the mall. And so I asked, then I explained this to Sam Davis yesterday. I said, would you wear a Hot Sam t-shirt if I got you one? He said, absolutely. So I've ordered
We'll
it.
figure that. Oh, you found one.
I found one. I ordered it on Amazon, of course, right after the show.
Beautiful.
Sadly, it's not going to arrive until Saturday.
We'll figure it out.
But I thought I'll package. I'll give him a little card tomorrow, and so we'll send him off with a Hot Sam T-shirt.
That is excellent.
I'm not sure about you. You can hear it in my voice. My voice is starting to go, and I got to fill in tomorrow morning for Kreitlow on the Mornings with Pat Kreitlow program. It'll be tomorrow. It'll be Mornings with Pat Kreitlow with Todd Allbaugh.
Mornings with Pat Kreitlow with Todd Allbaugh without Pat Kreitlow.
Right. And so I'm happy to do it after he hosted us up there at Lake Wissota last week. But I got to go to bed early, and I got to do 5 hours tomorrow.
You got to drink some tea with honey or something like that.
My allergies are just bogging me down. And then, of course, yesterday I found out I have a fatty liver. So I'm falling apart.
What an excellent day.
All right. But you were off yesterday. You had a little eye thing, and you're fine.
Yeah, I had my eye checkup after last year. They had some concerns last year, but like I had a lot of floaters, which means that
I've had those.
it is possible that my retina could become detached.
Yeah.
You
don't want that.
That's not good.
No.
But I have not had more floaters since last year, and my prescription has remained stable.
Good for you.
Basically no change in the right eye, slightly worse in the left eye. And so I don't need new glasses. And they said I can come back in 2 years instead of 1.
Look at that. See, another reminder, particularly to us men who too often don't take care of ourselves. Go get your checkup, get yourself, because you could address things when you know about it early. I found out apparently I'm at stage 0 of fatty liver disease. So, and I found out it's reversible or nearly reversible with a good diet and exercise. So
it'll take some work, but you can fix it.
yeah, so that's my new project, taking care of my liver. But it's going to be a great show today. Coming up in hour 2, what's worse today? Too busy or nothing to do? To me, this is an easy one, but we'll talk about that hour 2. And also at hour 2, be ready. Think about, I'm not sure about you, Zommers. I've had these kind of relationships where you get into a relationship, it burns fast and bright, and then it's over. And then you're broken up. And so there is a big breakup in Washington, D.C. Elon Musk has announced he's leaving Donald Trump, or at least stepping down, as he calls it, from heading Doge, the made-up agency of Department of Government and Energy or whatever, efficiency.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm on a lot of sinus meds today, folks. It could be a very interesting show. So anyway, Musk is leaving Trump, and so I thought it'd be a good day to talk about have you got a good breakup story? Did you meet someone, it was hot and heavy, and then it was over? And also, we'll take a look, according to Billboard magazine, the top 100 breakup songs.
We're going to listen to the entirety of all 100.
No, we're not. But wouldn't that be something? No, so we're going to talk about breakup songs and breaking up. Breaking up is hard to do, but not for Elon Musk, who is leaving, saying this is too much. And I find it interesting. Maybe the nail in Musk's coffin in his dabbling into U.S. government was the fact that he lost a big race. He put $20 million to help Brad Schimmel win the Supreme Court race here in Wisconsin, and got his posterior kicked by Susan Crawford.
Trump doesn't like losers.
No. Suckers and losers, as he says. So anyway, that we're going to talk about breakups and breakup songs in hour 2 as well. Coming up, though, in about 10 minutes or less, Wisconsin's Lieutenant Governor, Sarah Rodriguez. She is traveling around the state. Going to talk about some of her travels, what Wisconsinites are telling her all across the state of Wisconsin. And also, the Joint Finance Committee expected to go into executive session here this week, and some of the things she's hearing. And also from the Evers-Rodriguez point of view, what do they want to see in this budget? And is there a way to reach a compromise so that we don't get in a position where there is no state budget? Because in Wisconsin, of course, unlike in Washington, D.C., if the legislature and governor cannot decide on a budget, it simply, government does not shut down. It just continues on at the last budget levels. So we'll talk to Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez about all of that coming up in just a minute as well. Jeff Perry, our friend and ongoing contributor on Facebook, says, unfortunately, Todd, I have a fat head, which is not reversible. Isn't that a company that does like those pictures that you can put up on a wall?
Or which company?
Fathead?
I don't know. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think like you can get like sports figures. You can send in your own picture, and then it goes up on the wall. David New Berlin texting in on the Civic Media app says, Todd, I've got a 54th birthday. I have 54 birthdays behind me, too. I've never heard of Hot Sam's. Really? Well, I don't know, Dave. Did you grow up in Wisconsin? Did you go to the mall back in the 70s and 80s? It was a big thing for us. We come in from Richland Center and, get to have a Hot Sam. Anyway, so we'll talk about all that in a minute. But also, I want to point this out, Sommers. Today marks the 177th birthday of the state of Wisconsin. Happy birthday to us.
Woo!
Exactly. There you go. But yeah, we turned 177 today. of course, the first territorial capital of the state of Wisconsin, down in Belmont, Wisconsin, as my former professor at UW Platteville, Jack O'Neill, was fond of saying, the crossroads of the nation. And I looked this up today because I thought, is Belmont really the crossroads of the nation? And apparently not now. Now I believe the crossroads, technically, meaning the exact halfway point between the west and east coast of the country, is now, I believe, in Kansas, a town in Kansas. But for a brief time I've got it written down. Just hang on. I got to go over here to my bag. 2 seconds. Sorry, it was out of reach. Because I wrote this down. I thought I'm going to be accurate. So it was for a brief time in 1836, for all of you history buffs out there, in 1836, Belmont, Wisconsin, was indeed the crossroads of the nation.
Huh. Well, there you go. You learn something every day.
So Jack was right. Not that I thought he was wrong, but he was right. At one time, Belmont, Wisconsin, the first territorial capital of Wisconsin, was indeed the crossroads of the nation. And so they were going to have the state capital down there, and then they were meeting in the dead of winter. This is a true story. Meeting in the dead of winter, and a guy who owned a bunch of swampland in a place called Madison went down there. He was all the swamp. He had a bunch of beavers and stuff, and he was a trapper. And so he took all these furs in a horse and cart or wagon, went down to Belmont, went in where the territorial state legislature was meeting, and he said, gentlemen, they're all men at that point, gentlemen, I know you have an important vote coming up here the next couple of days on where the permanent capital of Wisconsin should be, this great state of ours. And I would hope that you would consider Madison. And by the way, I happen to bring you all a gift of furs, the fur coats, furs, to keep you warm in this, because it's just a little clapboard, uninsulated house down in Belmont. It's still there. If you go to Belmont, Wisconsin, you can visit the first territorial state capital. And so he said, I'm going to give you this gift of furs and leave you to your work. Oh, and also, as a side note, if you were to relocate the capital of Wisconsin from Belmont to Madison, I would be so gracious that I would give you each a plot of land on which to build a home.
So bribery
Yes.
is why Madison's the capital.
100%. And a couple of days later, they took a vote. Let's move to Madison.
Unanimous, I'm sure.
Right. I don't know if it was unanimous, but that's a true story. That is how Madison, Wisconsin, ended up being the capital. Because where we sit right now, it's there. You know, it's there's a little, you go up State Street here, and the Capitol sits, I don't want to call it a hill, but it's elevated.
Elevated slightly, yeah.
And that's all fill. They brought in all that dirt.
Punxsutawney Phil?
I would know. They brought in dirt and rocks and everything and filled it in and built the Capitol on that. So there you go. As my former history teacher, Ken Lewis, is fond of saying, hitherto unknown facts.
It all comes down, as Jack O'Neill said, it all comes down to the dollar sign.
Exactly right. Hey, maybe that's what we're going through this thing. They want us to do merch, which is great. But I'm trying to, and so what should we have on our t-shirt? Maybe we should just have a dollar sign.
Maybe you need to contact
it says it all comes down to that.
Maybe you need to pay royalties to your past teachers and professors.
Maybe, I'm sure they would appreciate
and their families.
that. I'm sure they would appreciate that. But first, we got to sell something. I think a dollar sign with it all comes down to that. That's pretty good, Sommer.
That could work.
I think that could absolutely work. All right, we'll come back here in a second and talk to Wisconsin's Lieutenant Governor, Sarah Rodriguez, who is on this State of Wisconsin birthday. Find out what's on her mind, find out what she's hearing from people all across the state of Wisconsin, and also talk about the state budget. There is a $4 billion plus state surplus. How should our tax money be used? Talk about all that next with Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez. Stay with us. It's the Allbaugh Show across Wisconsin, Lake Gitchagumi, here on a Thursday, May 29th, on the Civic Media or Radio Network.
Here, you're listening to 92.7 WMDX.
Are you living with dry AMD?
All right, looks like the lieutenant governor is getting set up right
All
now.
right.
I'm here. I
There
don't have
she is.
I don't have video. Sorry.
Okay, that's
Oh,
okay.
that's
That's
right.
okay.
How you doing, Lieutenant Governor?
I'm doing okay. How are you? It's finally spring, I think.
I know. Other than my sinuses are killing me, but other than that, I'm doing all right. So I thought we'd just briefly state's 177th birthday today, celebrating that, and then could talk about what you're hearing from people across the state of Wisconsin, get into budget a little bit, what from your standpoint, the governor's standpoint, what do the Republicans have to do to negotiate in good faith, and can this come down to an agreement, or are we going to see a stalemate and just the same budget continuing on?
No.
And then I'm not sure if you saw, I'm just seeing it now on Channel 3000, well, it's a half hour ago, but obviously you're aware, just what UW Madison is saying on the possible change policy with foreign students, particularly Chinese students. And as you well know, I mean, if we don't have foreign students, it could mean a tuition increase for Wisconsin students.
Right.
And the impact on that. So that's kind of what I had on my plate. Are there things you'd like to discuss other than that?
No, I think that's good. I think talking about the proposed cuts to Medicaid is important and how that's going to affect us here in Wisconsin.
Okay.
Medicaid, Medicare, food stamps.
Okay. All righty. Pursuing truth wherever you may lead and having fun doing it. Welcome back to the Todd Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network. 22 now, past the hour of 2 o'clock on this Thursday, May 29th, 2025. Glad to have you along as I fight my allergies here. I apologize for the voice today, but we'll get through it. Pleased to have our next guest here joining us via StreamYard. Welcome her back to the show. She is Wisconsin's Lieutenant Governor. Sarah Rodriguez is here with us. And Lieutenant Governor, first and foremost, happy 177th birthday to the state of Wisconsin.
Woohoo! Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us once again. I was telling this story when the last segment there before you came on, and it's only because my former boss Dale Schultz represented Belmont for many, many years, and now the late great state legislator Steve Freeze, who represented that area as well. He was a great historian and he told it much better than I did, but how Belmont was, of course, the first territorial capital, and it was a fur trader and landowner in Madison who went down and basically bribed the legislature in the middle of winter with furs and plots of land to move from Belmont to Madison, and
that's funny.
Wisconsin kicked off our statehood with a bribe. Not too much different than what we're seeing today, right? In Washington.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I always enjoy that story, but on this birthday of Wisconsin, as our lieutenant governor, just personally speaking, what are some of your you've been traveling around the state a lot. What are some of your favorite parts about this state in which we live?
It's funny. I love all the different parts of the state. I particularly love the Driftless region. That is a gorgeous part of the state with all of the different rock formations. It's fantastic. But we have so many lakes here in Wisconsin too. And my family, every summer, we pick a different place to go. We rent a house, we rent a boat, and we do nothing for a week. And it is amazing. We get a 1,000-piece puzzle. We make food at the house, and we just do absolutely nothing. And Wisconsin, I think, is becoming more known for all of these outdoor activities that you can do, whether that's hiking, biking, fishing, boating, all of these things that we can do. We've got the Ice Age Trail now that you could do the entire state if you wanted to go backpacking. That is my favorite part about Wisconsin, and that it's all 4 seasons. So we can do something in the winter, the fall, the spring, the summer. As long as you have the right clothes on, you are good to go to do anything you want outside.
I couldn't agree more. And, I don't know, there's a lot of people that travel more than me, but I've been outside the country and traveled quite a bit inside the country. And I tell people I love to travel, but whether I'm driving back or flying back, I'm never sorry to be coming back to Wisconsin, just for all the reasons that you just said. I truly do feel it is one of the best places to live in the United States.
I do. I mean, of course it is. Of course.
Right?
Of course it is. Of
What's our
course
lieutenant governor
Wisconsin
going to say, right?
is the best place to live. But I mean, honestly, I grew up here. I ran away a little bit for school. But when I had my 2 kids, this is where I knew I wanted to raise them. And so when they were little and small, we moved back to make sure that we could raise our kids in Wisconsin, near family, really good school districts here, safe community kind of experience. We wanted to raise them in the Midwest. And that is because Wisconsin's so fantastic. It's so beautiful here. The people are kind and generous, and it's a great place to raise a family.
That really is. We're going to come back after the break here, get more into the nitty gritty of the policy and things going on right now in the state of Wisconsin. But we got about 3.5 minutes here before we go to break, Lieutenant Governor. As you've traveled around here lately, around the state of Wisconsin, give us 2 or 3 of the top issues right now you're hearing from Wisconsinites that are on their mind.
Well, yeah, I've been, I go to all 72 counties every year. I've done that every year. I've been lieutenant governor, and I'm well on my way this year to complete 72 counties. And the last couple of weeks, I've been really talking about the budget and talking to folks who are out there in the community in different parts of the state, talking about our administration's budget and having that conversation as well about the federal budget and the federal cuts that may be coming and things that have already been cut, that they've had their grants frozen or they're unable to submit receipts to get reimbursement. And what I'm hearing from folks is whether you're a not-for-profit who's trying to take care of vulnerable people, vulnerable kids, older adults, or you're a small business owner, this chaos at the federal level makes it so difficult to plan. So people are just hunkering down, trying to figure out and read the tea leaves about what's happened on the federal level. And what they're asking from me and from the administration is we need some stability in Wisconsin. We need us to make sure that we are investing in Wisconsinites because we cannot rely on the federal government to be able to plan for our business, for our organization, for our kids and our families. And that's really hard for people to be able to figure out what they're going to be doing moving forward if they can't rely on what's happening at the federal government.
I'd be interested to get your take on this, because what I hear as we travel with our show around the state, very similar to what you just said, but people are telling me, Todd, I just get overwhelmed. I can't listen to the news all day because it gets depressing. But I think you just said it so well that while I get it, it does get depressing with this fire hose of bad news every day out of DC. What you just said, we as Wisconsinites are going to feel the effects of those decisions.
We absolutely are. You talk about some of these federal cuts. We are already feeling the effects of some of these federal cuts. My dad, he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's in his 60s. We use the Aging, Disability, and Resource Center to be able to find him resources. A lot of that funding comes from Medicaid. Yeah. So Medicaid helps people with disabilities, helps aging adults, and those services that they provide are funded through Medicaid in some way. So if we're talking about cuts to Medicaid, that's going to affect so many different services across the state.
Yeah, it absolutely is. My dad was diagnosed with dementia about a year ago, so we're looking at the same types of things, and nursing homes obviously as well. We're going to talk more about the effects of federal cuts to Wisconsinites and also what's happening at the state capitol in regards to the state budget. Don't go anywhere. It's Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez on the Allbaugh Show right here across Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network.
station, 92.7 WMDX. Local radio for you.
All right, we got about 4 minutes here on this break, and then we'll pick it back up.
Okay.
And we've got you till the 50 mark. Is that right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, all right, cool.
Flowers, well, in the Beaver Dam area, that's definitely.
Are you okay if I invite people to call in, or would you rather not?
That's fine. They can call in.
All right. Zomers is breaking about screening it, so we're not going to get any jerks or anything.
Wisconsin Arts and Peony Festival in the Beaver Dam area. Michelle Ovens is one of the participants. She owns and operates Ovens Peony Farms in Beaver Dam. She's got about 100 varieties of different peonies that she'll be presenting. And she said, well, many people enjoy the beauty of the flower. They have to recognize and respect the economic punch it can deliver.
When we first started this, the state of Wisconsin Tourism, they reported 900 people coming to the farm here, and that generated over $130,000 in the community. Well, can you imagine if we have 5,000 people, what that generates in the community for gas, for lodging, for food? The economic impact for the community through this agritourism is just incredible. And that's really one of the big motivating factors for us to bring these events through agritourism to the public.
Michelle Ovens from Ovens Peony Festival, one of the hosts for the upcoming Wisconsin Arts and Peony Festival. The other reason why it's a big deal this year is the American Peony Society conventions held during the festival. That's going to bring enhanced attendance, Ovens says, and they only come to Wisconsin once every 8 to 10 years.
Attention.
All right, there I learned something from Pam Yankee. I did not know there was a peony festival in Wisconsin.
That's
awesome.
Also, Todd, Diane in Madison was calling in and recommends that you get a humidifier to help with your sinuses. Run it at night.
Really? A humidifier. All right. I have like a air purifier or whatever. But maybe
I don't know. That might be helping. Humidifier might help. I don't know. It's something
all right,
that could be helpful.
See, you never know what you're going to learn from our callers.
Get you down and bring your profits. Get your calves up and moving with BioVet's Calf Electrolyte. Our Base Light product contains balanced electrolytes for restoring and maintaining proper fluid levels and scouring calves. Base Light also provides additional energy to support recovery. It's easy to mix, and calves are easy to drink it down to the last drop. Learn more about Base Light at bio-vet.com.
Innovation, that's BioVet.
And we're just learning how successful this year's Midwest Horse Fair was back in April. Show organizers say that Saturday had an attendance record broken with over 25,000 fairgoers on hand, 60,000 through the course of the weekend. They hosted 37 breed and discipline groups, 800 horses, and 37 stallions. That's Food News. I'm Pam Yankee.
Your news, conversations, and a whole lot of fun. It's all on your local Civic Media radio station or the Civic Media app.
Partly cloudy today with a chance of scattered showers or a small storm popping up this afternoon. Otherwise, this evening, we dry things out, and tomorrow, plenty of sunshine and warmer. Highs today will flirt with 70, and by tomorrow, reaching near 80. I'm meteorologist Brittany Merlot. Currently, it's 68.
Nightlight with Pete Schwaba.
Last week, I asked if me swallowing like 100 mayflies on a walk breaks a fast, because I was doing intermittent fasting. 0.008 calories per fly.
You are breaking a fast, though. Because
Probably.
it's not zero.
It's not 0 calories.
So you did.
Well, that really sucks. I mean, don't get me wrong. They tasted good.
Nightlight with Pete Schwaba. Weeknights from 6 till 8 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the Civic Media app. The Maggie Dawn Show.
Richard Trent, the executive director of Main Street Alliance.
This current tax code that they're trying to extend, 80+% of the benefit goes to the top 1% of earners.
All right,
yes.
thank you.
Misspeak there. This is
Excuse me. wherever it may lead and having fun doing it. Welcome back to the Todd Allbaugh Show across Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network. Glad to have you along with us. 35 minutes past the hour of 2 o'clock on this Thursday, May 29th. Zomer's on the board. Glad to have him back. And also right now, joining us for this next segment, once again, Wisconsin's Lieutenant Governor, Sarah Rodriguez, joins us via StreamYard on the state of Wisconsin's 177th birthday. Sean in Richland Center, listening on WRCE, says, I believe it was James Doty who bribed people to vote for Madison. Also think Madison beat out Cassville by 1 vote for being the state capital. Thank you, Sean. I think you're right about it was James Doty who did that, but I did not know that Cassville lost by 1 vote. As they say in the movie, just a bit outside. How about that, Lieutenant Governor? Had it not been for a bribe, you'd be meeting down in Bell. You and I are one of our favorite places, Southwest Wisconsin.
There you go. Absolutely.
Again, you've been traveling around the state, and before the break there, just talking about that you were hearing from people the anxiety of what's happening in Washington and how this lands back here at home in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
And for some people, that's for the Medicaid cuts, Medicare. Explain just again how this works, because I know we've had, and I guess not just that, but another issue that I think is really important you can talk about if you'd like. We had people on this show here, a couple of weeks ago from Barron County that ran a child care center there, and they were down here lobbying the legislature for money because, as it turns out, child care in this state was already kind of in danger in terms of not being able to make it financially. Then the pandemic comes along. We get federal funding through for the pandemic COVID money from the feds. That is running out. And what we're hearing, and I'd be interested to hear what you've heard, Lieutenant Governor, is that a lot of places, particularly in rural Wisconsin, are saying, look, we can't charge what child care centers in Madison and Milwaukee do because our clients don't have that kind of income. And without some sort of state help, we're going to go out of business.
Yeah, I'm hearing that as well. And the governor we've included in our budget child care counts, which are dollars that can go towards these child care agencies that would be helpful and to be able to subsidize some of kind of middle income folks. So when I speak to some of the child care agencies, the lower income folks who qualify for 100% subsidies, they're probably going to still be okay. The wealthier people, they could probably take a little bit of an increase in their child care costs. It's people like me, right? I'm a nurse. I'm not wasn't a super wealthy person and not a super wealthy person now. Those are the kind of people who are going to suffer because they're not getting any subsidies from the state for their child care. And to be able to absorb that into a family budget, it is so expensive. Oh my gosh. So expensive to be able to put your kids in child care. And that is what I'm hearing from people, and that the spots just aren't available. And so some people had wanted to go back to work, but couldn't find a spot for their child. And so ended up staying at home until their child was 6 months, 9 months, a year, until they could get a child care slot. It is a crisis in Wisconsin. Governor Evers and I, we have some really good pieces in the budget to be able to address this. We are working with the Republican Joint Finance Committee, and they have to know it's a crisis as well within their communities. So wanting to make sure that we keep that in the budget moving forward.
Before we get into the budget specifically, another program that I want to just highlight and get your take on as you've traveled around the state, Lieutenant Governor, is this issue of what's commonly known as food stamps. Now they're called SNAP benefits here in the state of Wisconsin. What are you hearing about this and these implications of what's happening in Washington, D.C., and how that transcends down to Wisconsin?
Well, and I will tell you that we had to put our budget together here in Wisconsin before we knew what type of cuts that the Republicans in Washington were going to be proposing. And so now we're having to play a little bit of catch up, just like businesses can't prepare and plan. State governments can't prepare and plan if we have this level of chaos going on at the federal government. If the bill goes through as written through the House right now, that's an extra $350 million that is going to be hitting our taxpayers here in Wisconsin that we would have been able to get from the federal government that we didn't have time to prepare for. So, that is something that we're going to have to figure out. Either we have to put in an additional $350 million into SNAP benefits, which is food, by the way. It is food for people. We don't want kids to go hungry. We don't want older adults to go hungry in Wisconsin. I know my neighbors don't want that, Republicans, Democrats. And we did not have a chance, or we have to restrict benefits. Those are the two choices that we have. Either we have to be able to put those dollars in, or we have to restrict benefits. And we certainly don't want to do either of those things. We want the federal government to continue to do what they've said they were going to do and match it at the same percentage.
Yeah, and just one more quick note on this, because my former party now, they like to spend a lot of time on, oh, geez, maybe we should decide what people are on SNAP are going to eat. Like, we don't want them to get candy bars or something. I really, sure, there's always going to be a case or two or three, and then those are just blown up as to, well, everybody's doing it, right? I mean, I remember when I was working for the state senate, and I don't care anymore because I've long left politics, but in a closed Senate Republican caucus, then State Senator Glenn Grothman, now United States Congressman Glenn Grothman, spent 10 minutes talking about how he didn't think that people on SNAP should be able to buy Skittles. Skittles. This is, it got down, well, if they want to do it, they should do it, but not on taxpayer. But this is just a fallacy, is it not, Lieutenant Governor Rodriguez?
And that's the thing that bothers me. I'm a nurse by background and often work with vulnerable communities. What do the numbers say? What does the data say? The vast majority of food that is purchased is regular healthy food. That's what they're purchasing. They're not purchasing Skittles. They could rarely do that. But here's what you're telling people. You can't get a birthday cake for your child. You can't throw a party and maybe get some cupcakes for the school. Like, are you kidding me? That's the level of micromanagement we're going to do to families who are just trying to get by and survive. Come on. It's just absolutely silly.
It really is. Let's move on to the budget at large here. Of course, Wisconsin has a biennial budget, meaning it's every 2 years. And unlike Washington, D.C., if the legislature and the governor can't come to an agreement, we continue on current levels for another 2 years. People hope that it doesn't come to that. Help us sort this out, Lieutenant Governor Rodriguez. You hear all kinds of different things. The Republican legislature, Speaker Voss and Majority Leader LeMahieu, well, the governor doesn't want to negotiate or sit down. The governor says he's waiting for Republicans to talk to him. Help real Wisconsin. I think most people, not political nerds like me, just say, look, you guys are elected to work this out. We have a $4 billion surplus. What gives? Give us the inside scoop, Lieutenant Governor.
Well, it is frustrating, and they have been talking to each other. They've absolutely been talking to each other. So this narrative that the governor is not willing to come and discuss anything, it's simply not true. They've been having conversations, and they want to make sure that they're having some of these lower level conversations before they bring in some of the decision makers on what they're going to do for some compromises on the budget. But the reality is that the Joint Finance Committee basically stripped down the governor's budget to what they call base budget, and then they're kind of adding pieces in here and there. But they have control in that Joint Finance Committee. The Republicans do. But at the end of the day, they know that there are really important priorities for the governor, whether that's education. We know he's the education governor, whether that's healthcare, trying to bring in some additional revenue into the state, making sure we can have appropriate funds for childcare. And I am hopeful that they are going to continue to have conversations in good faith, that they are going to produce a budget that the governor can sign. Because at the end of the day, he does have that line item veto power. He can do some of those pieces, but he also has the power to veto the entire budget if he chooses to. So these are the kind of things that we want to make sure doesn't happen. We want to have a budget on July 1st when it is required to be completed. I said July 1st, right? July 1st. Yep. When it's required to be completed, that's what we want. I imagine that's what the Republicans want as well. So let's just get to work. I think you're right. When I talk to people all over the state, they're just like, we don't care. We just want you to work for the betterment of Wisconsinites. That's what we want. We're tired of the partisanship.
Is there anything to this that Republicans now are considering, instead of doing what we called an omnibus budget bill? That's political talk for putting everything in the same pot and passing it like we usually do, kind of breaking this out into individual bills to try to usurp the governor's veto pen, or do you think that's just hyperbole and hype?
There's all sorts of rumors out there about what they're going to do, but they have to be able to be responsive to their voters in 2026 about why they didn't want to invest in childcare, why they didn't want to invest in healthcare, why they wanted to leave people hungry in schools. So I would very much hope that they are going to be working in good faith and that we can come to a compromise for July 1st.
One of those things in the budget, of course, is our state university system. There's a story on Channel 3000 this morning, a CBS affiliate here in Madison. UW-Madison campus leaders said today that they were ready to support students after U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the government would begin revoking the visas of some Chinese students. And then later on, it says, we are, quote, we are deeply concerned about the impact of such a policy on our Chinese student community, unquote, according to a UW statement. Lieutenant Governor Rodriguez, break this down for us a little bit, because our university system, whether people like to know it or admit it or not, there is a business side to this. And foreign students pay more than Wisconsin in resident students. And if this were to go through, not only do I think it would degrade the university experience by not having another view in your colleagues or your classmates, but there's a real financial burden for the state of Wisconsin if this goes through as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. So if you think about it, in-state, out-of-state tuition, right? We all know about that if you go to a different state, you're going to pay out-of-state tuition. And we know that that's more expensive. So when we have students from overseas who come into the UW system, which is a significant portion of our student body, I mean, I'm worried about those Chinese students as well, and the community there, and all international students. But the reality is the vast majority of them pay full fare. They pay 100% of the tuition. And so what happens is if we lose those students, if we lose those international students, guess what? Wisconsinites in-state tuition is going to go up, because they're going to have to be able to still continue to provide the services that they have within the UW system with less money. So that is going to impact Wisconsin students as well. So even though you may think, I always say this, you may think these decisions that are happening in Washington, D.C. has nothing to do with what's happening in Madison or what's happening in Viroqua, Wisconsin. It is. Right. There's all sorts of effects from these cuts and from these political decisions that are being made with no thought to what the consequences might be on the ground.
Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, always appreciate your time. You are part of what makes Wisconsin great. We come back soon and we will talk more. We thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you so much. All right, bye-bye.
Our pleasure. Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, when we come back, the 14 best places to live in Wisconsin. Stay with us.
With Civic Media. Log on civicmedia.us/advertise.
Hey, Gordy. How you doing?
Oh, Arthur, great to see you. What are you doing in the studio?
Well, I need to talk to you about doing a commercial.
Oh, okay. Well, to get a commercial on the air here, you just go down to the sales department. It's right next to the bathroom.
I don't think you understand.
Oh, I understand plenty. You salespeople drink a lot of coffee. That's why the bathroom's right there.
Right, but I need to have you make a commercial about commercials.
Wait. A commercial about a commercial? I don't follow.
I want to tell potential business owners out there how to contact me to get a commercial on WMDX.
Okay, I get it. Okay, let's come up with something. Let's see. Business folks can contact you directly, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
What's the email, huh?
Okay, so it's sales@WMDXradio.com.
Oh, wait, run that by me again.
Sales@WMDXradio.com.
Yep, my
so we
text.
could put all that together and get into a commercial, get on the air soon.
Arthur, my friend, I think we just...
Advertise on WMDX Radio. Email Arthur, sales@WMDXradio.com.
Again, not a surprise. nor unexpected.
I'm Dan Schaefer. Let's recombobulate. We are in a rare moment right now in Wisconsin politics. Why, you ask? Well, it's because we are not actively in the middle of a campaign cycle. It's been more than 6 weeks now since any of us have seen a campaign ad. It's been pretty nice, hasn't it? The moment we're in is as close as we're going to get to a political off-season here in Wisconsin. And we need to take advantage of this moment by taking action to improve our democracy. That means taking steps to address money in politics, cleaning up some issues with election administration, and creating a long-term plan for nonpartisan redistricting. In some cases, we can't make these kinds of changes in the middle of a campaign, so we need to be thinking about what we can do now. There's a lot both parties can agree on here, too. So let's make some moves this offseason, Wisconsin. Seize this moment to make a better, stronger, more inclusive democracy.
Find all of Dan's work at the Recombobulation area and on our website at civicmedia.us.
You can support animals in need in our community when you shop at Dane County Humane Society's thrift stores. Thrift Store West on Watts Road and Thrift Store East on High Crossing Boulevard. Shop gently used and new clothing and accessories, home goods, toys, furniture, and a whole lot more. All proceeds from the Dane County Humane Society's thrift stores support the comfort and care of animals in need across the county. Visit giveshelter.org/thrift for more information.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and
Allbaugh Show, the Civic Media Radio Network. It is now 8 minutes before the hour of 3 o'clock. Coming up in hour 2, another thrilling edition of What's Worse. Well, we hope it's thrilling. Are you too busy or nothing to do? What's worse? We'll talk about that in hour 2. Also, be thinking. Put your thinking caps on. We want you to call or text in with your worst breakups. Have you had a relationship where you went out with someone, it was fast, it was hot, and then it was over, like a comet. It just, did you break up? And do you have a favorite breakup song? Because Elon Musk and Donald Trump are breaking up. Elon Musk announced.
Well, they're still going to be friends.
It's not you, it's me.
Neither of them would say that.
No, absolutely not. Well, we played it yesterday, this cut. It's an interview coming up on CBS's Sunday morning. They're interviewing Elon Musk, or they interviewed him. It's going to play on Sunday. And Musk said that basically called out Trump, because Trump calls the reconciliation bill as quote-unquote big, beautiful bill, which is nice marketing, I guess. But Elon Musk says, well, you can either have a big bill or a beautiful bill, but I don't think you can have both.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong about that. So, now Musk announces last night or this morning that he's leaving Doge, his made-up Department of Government Efficiency, doggy, I like to call it, leaving that tomorrow, his last day. Just like Sam Davidson, it's his last day tomorrow. We're not going to send Musk a Hot Sam t-shirt.
But for Sam, though, anything.
Anything for Sam. So anyway, in hour 2, we're going to talk about breakup songs. What's your best breakup song? Article in the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. By the way, thank you to Lieutenant Governor. I knew that was going to happen. I apologize. These darn sinuses. Many thanks to Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez for making time for us. I mean, Zombers, that's somebody that she's a real person. You can have a real conversation. She doesn't give you spin or talking points. She just tells you what she knows and what she's hearing. And I appreciate about her.
And it's clear that she is talking to Wisconsinites.
Yes.
And more importantly, listening to Wisconsinites.
Exactly. Listening to Wisconsinites. So there's a story in the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel today This is from USA today, which I love saying. According to U.S. News? Yes, U.S. News and World Report, they have listed the 14 best places to live in Wisconsin. Now, why is it 14? Why not 15? Just round it off like that.
I'm guessing that there could be a few reasons. Number one, AI-generated list.
Could be.
I hope it's not that.
I hope
but that's
not.
one reason.
Yeah.
Number two, the 15th was a place that the person has a personal vendetta against.
Well, I don't think this is it's a well-written article. I just thought it was interesting they chose 14.
Yeah. Or maybe
and not
because
15.
now we're talking about it.
Now we're talking about it. Exactly. I mean, maybe that's it. It's like, well, everybody does 15. So let's do
Just
14.
make it a little quirky.
Let's see if we can get through these. According to U.S. News and World Report today, number 14, Milwaukee. All the way down at 14. Ooh. Milwaukeeans would disagree, I'm sure. Number 13, Racine. A lot of people say Racine, but if you're from there, Racine. Number 12, Fond du Lac. Number 11, according to U.S. News and World Report, the city in which Zommers and I are in, the state capital, Madison, Wisconsin. Number 10, La Crosse. Number 9, Kenosha. Number 8, Janesville. Number 7, a stone's throw from Zommers' hometown, Sheboygan. Sheboygan, the number 7 best place to live in Wisconsin, according to U.S. News and World Report. Number 6, home of your Green Bay Packers and WGBW and Civic Media, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Number 5, our own Chad Holmes must have stuffed the ballot box, Wausau. Wausau, WXCO, coming in at 5. Number 4, Oshkosh B'gosh, home of WISS on Civic Media. Now we're into the top 3 places, best places to live in Wisconsin, according to U.S. News and World Report. Number 3, home of WAUK, Waukesha, Milwaukee. Waukesha at number 3. Number 2, some of our great callers. Appleton, Wisconsin, home of Harry Houdini. Appleton, Wisconsin. And the number 1 place to live in the state of Wisconsin, according to U.S. News and World Report. Can you guess, Summers? What places have I not named yet?
Yuba.
That is a great guess.
It is a place you haven't listed.
It is a place, Yuba, Wisconsin, in Richland County. Great place. Lots of Czechoslovakians there. But no, that is not incorrect. And it's not Richland Center either. Number 1 place to live in the state of Wisconsin is home of WCFW, The Tap, Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
That's cool. That makes sense.
How about that?
That makes sense, especially, the arts are really continuing to build steam there.
Yeah. My sister lives there, brother-in-law, nieces, was just up there last weekend. I think they've got the Pablo Center at the Confluence, a great performing arts building. They've got a lot of cool shops. Their downtown is pretty vibrant. Home of UW Eau Claire,
which is a great school.
Great school. The alma mater of our very own Pat Kreitlow and Trygve Olsen. And it's just it's a cool city. They have lots of things to do there. Good quality of life, shopping, all that kind of stuff. So congratulations to Eau Claire, Wisconsin, for being named the number 1 place to live in the state of Wisconsin by U.S. News and World Report. Congratulations. I think that's pretty cool. Get some recognition there. So there you go. That's the entire list, according to U.S. News and World Report. We're going to do a little news, weather, and sports. Come on back in hour number 2. What's worse? And breaking up is hard to do, but Trump and Musk have done it. It's the Allbaugh Show on Civic Media.
This is 92.7 WMDX Columbus, Madison's home for real news and great conversation. A Civic Media station.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. Now, 2 federal judges have struck down most of President Trump's tariffs. A second ruling today from a federal district court judge in Washington ruled President Trump does not have the legal authority to impose tariffs on an emergency basis. You might call it self-doging. First, Elon Musk and now the highest levels of his Department of Government Efficiency are exiting Washington. A federal judge is stopping the Trump administration from revoking Harvard's ability to enroll international students. Professor Nancy Gibbs with the Harvard Kennedy School tells
Forgive me
ABC
if I
News.
mispronounce this, but Jeff Perry says, how'd they miss
all
Rui?
higher education all over the country. This is about students
Rui, yes,
all
that's
over
right.
the country. This is about research
Beautiful Rui,
and
Wisconsin,
progress all over the
home of
country,
former
all over the world.
UW
This is
Richland
in no way is
Dean
just about
Dion
Harvard.
Kempthorne.
We just happen to be the face of it, but this is about everyone.
Reports say Israel and Hamas may have a 60-day ceasefire deal. The White House says it's a U.S. plan, but didn't confirm a truce. This is ABC News.
You can always continue the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts when you find and follow Civic Media on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
For 92.7 WMDX News, I'm Savannah Tomei Olson. Madison will soon have a new director of transportation. The city has hired Christoph Spieler to head Metro Transit, Traffic Engineering, and the Parking Division. Former Transportation Director Tom Lynch retired last month. Spieler has worked with other cities across the country, including Houston, Dallas, and Philadelphia. Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway says he'll be a good fit for Madison's urban character with unique geography. His first day is July 21st. And a story we're keeping an eye on. Authorities from the Environmental Protection Agency are on site investigating a food warehouse in Greene County. According to WKOW, they're at Sabrosura Foods in Monticello. The outlet reports federal agents say the criminal division is on site and their operation is unrelated to immigration. And the Coast Guard is missing pyrotechnics from a Wisconsin beach. Here's Stuart J. Waddles.
If you find a little metal cylinder while you're out looking for beach glass, beware. The Coast Guard is warning Lake Michigan beachgoers to stay alert for 3 missing pieces of pyrotechnics that could wash ashore. They went missing after a military exercise off Milwaukee's coast earlier this month. The silver cylinder devices can produce intense heat and red smoke if disturbed. One device was already found at Montrose Beach in Illinois. 3 remain unaccounted for.
Meanwhile, the American Family Insurance Championship is now just about a week away, and organizers announced this year's celebrity foursome. U.S. Open champ Andy North will host, and the 3 other celebrity players are soccer legend Mia Hamm, former Packer Charles Woodson, and L.A. Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert. The AmFam Championship is next Saturday at TPC, Wisconsin. And lastly, it's Wisconsin's 177th birthday. We became the 30th state on May 29th, 1848. I'm Savannah Tomei Olson. You're listening to 92.7 WMDX News.
The Brewers beat the Red Sox again. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with Sports Baseball. The Brewers have today off before going on the road to play the Phillies tomorrow night. Yesterday, another dramatic win for Milwaukee, 6-5 over the Red Sox. Caleb Durbin with 2 hits, 3 runs batted in. A sacrifice fly in the bottom of the 10th, just enough into center field, so Sal Frelick could score the winning run.
Yeah, that's the goal. Try to get it deep enough. I knew their outfielders were playing pretty in. So even a low line drive, hopefully gets the job done, but, can't go wrong with trying to get it, deep in the air.
NFL, Packers OTAs, wide receiver Jaden Reed asked if it was true his agent Drew Rosenhaus called the Packers after they drafted a wide receiver, Matthew Golden, in the first round.
A lot of people misinterpreted that. Like, I hired a new agent, and we talked about it before even the draft, really, that he said that he was going to talk to the front office and everybody here to just catch up and make sure everybody on the same page.
That's Packers receiver Jaden Reed with Sports on Mike Clemens.
Enjoying this local program? Find the complete Civic Media lineup at civicmedia.us or the Civic Media app.
Partly cloudy today with a chance of scattered showers or a small storm popping up this afternoon. Otherwise, this evening, we dry things out, and tomorrow, plenty of sunshine and warmer. Highs today will flirt with 70, and by tomorrow, reaching near 80.
Absolutely.
I'm meteorologist Brittany Merlot. Right now, 66 degrees.
It's the Eco Minute, powered by Clean Wisconsin, your environmental voice since 1970. I'm Amy Berrio. Dismantling the IRA and other federal clean energy incentives will add greenhouse gas emissions by 2030. That's according to modeling from Princeton University. House Republicans passed aggressive cuts to clean energy incentives in their latest budget. The Senate is now considering the bill. The Public Service Commission of Wisconsin has given the green light for a major build-out of fossil fuel-burning power plants in Wisconsin. We Energies wants to build new gas plants and operate them for 30 years, largely to meet the needs of Microsoft's new AI data center. It's turtle nesting season, and the DNR is asking drivers to slow down on roads near wet areas, lakes, and rivers. Wisconsin's 11 turtle species lay eggs from late May through June, when you can often see them along roads and in yards. You can help keep them safe by being alert when driving through their habitat. For a deep dive into environmental issues, check out my Defender podcast at cleanwisconsin.org.
All right.
Live from the Civic Media World Headquarters in Madison, Wisconsin, it's the Todd Allbaugh Show. And now, pursuing truth wherever it may lead, here's your host, Todd Allbaugh.
Across Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network and streaming worldwide on the Civic Media app. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Todd Allbaugh, along with our outstanding producer, Mr. Aaron Zalbers, on the board. It is 6 minutes past the hour of 3 o'clock. Welcome in hour number 2 with the big program on Thursday, May 29th, 2025. It is a great day to be Wisconsinite from the world headquarters of Civic Media in downtown Madison. Glad you're along. Overcast skies now, maybe some showers across parts of the state of Wisconsin, some rain. Still some needed rain here and there, but then the weekend looks sunny and warm. So there you go. We'll continue to update you on that. Many thanks again to Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez for joining us in hour number 1. If you didn't catch it, feel free to download the podcast. You can find it at civicmedia.us. Allbaugh Show. Is that how they do it? I don't know. Just go to civicmedia.us, and it'll say shows, and you click on that, and you'll find our show.
Yeah, you click on shows, you find the Todd Allbaugh Show.
I should probably know how to find my own shows, but I'm sorry, I'm looped up on sinus meds. I'm
gocked up on Whoop Chick.
I apologize for the voice today, everybody, but I'm not the only one. I talked to some friends of mine. This I guess tree pollen this year, which is just going
The
crazy.
tree pollen is crazy. By my house,
Yeah.
I keep wanting to open my windows when I turn on my car because, it's getting warm and it's sitting there baking in the sun all early morning. And then I do, and then start seeing all the tree pollen floating in my car. And I'm like, actually, I'm just going to keep these up.
Right. Except when you park your car for a half hour, you come back, and it's all covered with pollen.
Oh, yeah.
Either green or white or whatever.
Coated.
Yeah. You think I'm breathing that in? Holy cow. So anyway, I suffer through like most Wisconsinites do. I'm on Claritin, Sudafed, fluticasone, ibuprofen. And people ask me, Todd, why are you goofy? That's why.
I don't think that's in the side effects of Claritin.
No, I don't think it really is. The former pharmaceutical tech tells me. What are these side effects?
Of Claritin?
Yeah.
Drowsiness, probably. That's the main one.
Really? I wish I were more drowsy.
Although there might be, I think Claritin is usually non-drowsy now, or at least less drowsy.
Yeah, it is. All right, enough about Todd's sinus problems. Carrying on with the show, coming up here in a little while. This is going to be fantastic, or at least I hope. I pitched this idea earlier to our old Luke Mathers, and he said, "Oh, sure, do that." And he walked out and he shut the door. And I said to Zombers, was he being sarcastic or was he being serious?
He had to take a phone call, so it was rushed, so it was hard to tell.
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out soon. Think of have you been in a relationship? It was fast. It was furious. Like a comet. It burned bright and then it was over. And you broke up. And then what's your favorite breakup song? We have a list from Billboard magazine. The best breakup songs of all time. We're going to play some of those and take your breakup songs as well. And because we're doing this for a serious reason. Elon Musk announced that he's essentially breaking up with Donald Trump, that he's had enough of Washington, that he's leaving DOGE, his made-up doggy Department of Government Efficiencies thing. And he and his tech bros, his kids, are leaving. I wonder if Big Balls is leaving too. That's the real nickname of one of the 20-something-year-olds that is running DOGE.
I wonder how many people who are in DOGE are ever going to be in any relationship again, much less a short one, because they've done incredibly stupid things that I imagine any sane person would look at and be like, now, why would you do that?
That's
You're
really
an
funny,
idiot.
right? Yeah, who would date a Doge boy?
Not I.
Neither would I. All right, 10 minutes past the hour, 3 o'clock. Time once again for What's Worse. Let's go.
This or that, this or that. Then, of course, the choice is yours. You can get with this or you can get with that.
Time once again for What's Worse. No prize money to give away, nothing to... What is it? Nothing to give away, no prize money involved. There we go. But it is your chance to have your voice heard all across the great state of Wisconsin on this, the 177th birthday of the great state of Wisconsin. It's fantastic. I love celebrating our state. So here we go. Timely indeed, as Mike Lucas likes to say, because it's the spring, right? A lot of kids are going to be getting out of school, both high school and college. And we'll get into it, but I don't get part of this, right? But here it is. The category today, what's worse, too busy or nothing to do? Too busy or nothing to do? What's worse? 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. You can also text us on the Civic Media app. Don't have it, you say? Well, let me tell you something, Grasshopper. Man with Civic Media app is smart indeed. Go get it, download it, because you can do stuff with our goofy contest here for What's Worse, but really tomorrow we have our Friday Brewer ticket giveaway. I'm filling in for Kreitlow tomorrow on Mornings with Pat Kreitlow with Todd Allbaugh from 6 until 9. We are going to have a word on Kreitlow's show. Then Jane Matnair and Greg Bach are going to have a word on Matnair on Air from 9 until 11. Tom Hartman out in Portland, Oregon, we send it to him by courier pigeon because Hartman doesn't believe in emails. And so we send the word out via courier pigeon and he unravels it. He'll have a word. Then we'll have a word. Then Maggie Dawn will have a word after us from 4 until 6. So be listening all day tomorrow because somebody at the end of tomorrow, the computer will randomly choose a winner tomorrow, and somebody's going to have 4 tickets to a Milwaukee Brewers game. So that's why you should download the Civic Media app today. Go to your app store on Apple or Android. Type in Civic, C-I-V-I-C. Takes less than a minute. It's free. It's what CBS's Gail King calls a deal, the Civic Media app. Text us, what's worse, too busy or nothing to do? Too busy or nothing to do. 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. Go to the phone lines, listening here in the beautiful city of Madison on WMDX. Diane, too busy or nothing to do? What's worse?
What's worse? Too much to do.
Too much to do. Too busy. All right.
Too busy.
You get overwhelmed.
Well, I try to make sure that I coordinate everything so that it doesn't seem like I don't have anything to do.
I like that. I like that a lot.
So if I get up in the morning and do all of my ritual things that I have going on, then I have to say to myself, okay, you have something else to do, and that is you have to get out and you have to make the rolls in the garden. That's one thing I wanted to show you guys how to do it whenever you guys come over to Mamie's Backyard Garden.
Really?
So,
all right.
Yeah. So keep that in mind, okay? Because you'll be able to get your organic vegetables here when the harvest comes. So I want you to make sure you have to come in and you have to put in the work, but I don't have any trees in my backyard, so there's no pollen.
All right. Fair enough, Diane. Thank you very much. Appreciate you listening. Thanks for calling in. What's worse, too busy or nothing to do? 855-752-4842, 855-752-4842. Tony, watching on the YouTube channel, says nothing to do is so much worse when you have nothing to do. All right. Appreciate that, Tony. 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. Roger, listening up in beautiful Stevens Point, says too busy is worse, especially if there's a deadline, right? Well, as an ADHD person, sometimes I work best under a deadline.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
But yes, you're right. When there's that pressure, you have too much to do. That's no fun at all. What else do we have here? Adam, listening here in the beautiful city of Oregon on WMDX, says too much to do is worse. If there's nothing to do, take a nap. Oh, that's an idea as well.
Cam in Appleton says nothing to do means I'm here. So take that as you will.
855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. Let's go to Tom, listening on WMDX in McFarland. Tom, thanks for calling. Too busy or nothing to do? What's worse?
Definitely too busy, because if I'm too busy, that means I'm stressed out. If there's nothing to do, that means I'm going fishing.
That's a great point. If you got nothing to do, you can find something to do, right?
You got it.
Thanks for calling. I appreciate it, Tom. 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. Zommers, what's worse? Too busy or nothing to do?
Well, it's a little bit difficult because, every once in a while we'll have a what's worse category that I just don't know I'm not an expert on. I'm not experienced with both. I don't know if I've ever had nothing to do. I mean, the closest I can first of all, if you have nothing to do at home, just look around. There's probably something productive you can do. And if not, do you not have hobbies?
Right.
And if you're at work and there's nothing to do, you can find something.
Right.
Like almost always, whether that's read a book, if there really is nothing you can do at your job. Like, I don't know. I've never had nothing to do. So
you have very strong feelings on
Yeah, I'm going to say that too busy is worse.
All right. Alice in Cudahy, the category is too busy or nothing to do. Alice, listening in beautiful Cudahy on WAUK, says, I'd like to know who these people are that have nothing to do. I'll give them a few things to do. So she's with you, Zommers. She's absolutely with you. 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. What's worse, too busy or nothing to do? Kurt Madison says, lazy. I want to be lazy. So maybe Kurt's hoping that he has nothing to do. That's also a possibility. Category, what's worse, too busy or nothing to do? 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. Just looking here at a couple of other texts we have. I think we're caught up on that.
I believe so.
All
what
right.
about yourself?
I'm with you. Maybe I'm not quite as adamant about it, but I think in this context, what's worse is being too busy. Because I'm kind of like you. I mean, I think maybe what people are honing in on that think it's nothing to do, you can't be confused with loneliness, right?
Right.
Sometimes
That
you're
is
like,
different.
I've got nothing, I've got no one to do anything with. I think that's a different category than nothing to do. Because you're right.
That's true.
If
That's
I look
true.
around my apartment, I've always got something to do to be productive. It's just a matter of whether I have the will to do it or not. All right, appreciate all your calls. Come on back on the other side. Breaking up is hard to do. Elon Musk says, peace out to the Trumpster. Stay with us. You're listening to the Allbaugh Show right here across Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network.
It's real news and great conversation. 92.7 WMDX.
Hey, at the end of the day, everybody wants the same thing from their mattress. A good night's rest, am I right? It's not rocket science. You don't need a physics genius to make you a futuristic space bed. You just need someone to listen to what you want and who knows the materials that will get you there. And you might even be surprised to learn that that someone could be living right next door. At Verlo, we're your friendly neighborhood mattress genius. American made, locally crafted. Welcome to Verlo.
Spring is here. Make your lawn the envy of the neighborhood with EB3 Landscaping. With 15 years of top quality service, they treat your property like their own. 608-209-2185 for expert care.
We had
and
one
a vibrant
text.
tomorrow.
I don't know if you saw somebody
Madison,
saying that
get
they think
ready
that
to sizzle.
calling
Coming
breakup
to
is the
Korean
tone is off.
Korean barbecue and hot
I'll
pot
mention
Easttown Mall. Indulge in all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue with the freshest meats grilled right at your table. Wash it down with boba tea. Enjoy the pleasant atmosphere. Korean Korean barbecue and hot pot.
This is Chad Spade for Chad's Design Build. We're proud to employ some of the best carpenters and remodeling professionals in our industry. Are you honest and hardworking? Do you love to improve people's lives by improving their
Let's
homes?
let me come in with Neil Sedaka's Breaking Up is Hard to Do.
On outstanding
That's
customer
the plan.
service,
Fantastic.
professional design, construction
Look at that.
management,
Great
and
minds think
craftsmanship,
alike.
all in a nurturing, positive workplace. Whether you're thinking about remodeling your home or considering joining our team, go to chadsdesignbuild.com to learn more.
The John and Gordy Show.
Catherine,
What is
she's
wrong
obsessed
with
with, a man in uniform.
Do you get to drive the truck sometimes? Do you get to drive what? Hi, what? Come on there. What?
We're listening into your conversation.
The fire people, they're here.
Yeah.
The truck's here. Bring the kids.
The fire people.
What's the matter? They've got very big hoses that they have to lift, and they're very heavy.
Yeah. Shiny badges.
Hard to hold those hoses. I'm sure it is.
Oh, God.
Weekday mornings 6 till 8
30
on
seconds.
92.7 WMDX.
Do down, doobie doo down down, comma down, doobie doo down down, comma down, doobie doo down down. Breaking up is hard to do. Don't take your love away from me.
Breaking Up is Hard to Do. Welcome back to the Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network, along with Sommers on the board. 22 now, past the hour of 3 o'clock. Great song. I haven't heard that in a long time.
It's a classic, though.
It really, you can hear songs like that every Saturday night on Those Were the Days with our friend Phil Nee on WRCO, a part of Civic Media, from 6 until 9 every Saturday night. If you're not in Southwest Wisconsin, dial him up on the Civic Media app. Just download the app, open it up, scroll down to WRCO. You'll hear all kinds of great oldies every Saturday night, 6 until 9. Those were the days with our friend Phil Nee. I think breakups, a lot of times we associate them with breakup songs. No bigger breakup in the news today. This, according to the Associated Press from last night. Elon Musk is leaving his government role as a top advisor to President Donald Trump after spearheading efforts to reduce and overhaul the federal bureaucracy. His departure, announced last night, marks the end of a turbulent chapter that included thousands of layoffs, the evisceration of government agencies, and reams of litigation. Despite the upheaval, the billionaire entrepreneur struggled in the unfamiliar environment in Washington, D.C., and he accepted far less than, or accomplished rather, far less than he had hoped for. He dramatically reduced his target for cutting spending from $2 trillion to $1 trillion, and then to $150 billion, and increasingly expressed frustration about resistance to his goals. Sometimes he clashed with other top members of the Trump administration who chafed at the newcomer's efforts to reshape their departments, and he faced fierce political blowback for his efforts. Musk's role working with Trump was always intended to be temporary, and he had recently signaled that he'd be shifting his attention back to running his businesses, such as the electric automaker Tesla and his rocket company SpaceX. But administration officials were often vague about when Musk would step back from his position spearheading the, I'll interject into this story, made-up Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE, or I like doggy better. And he abruptly revealed that he was leaving his post on X, his social media website. He said, quote, "As my scheduled time as a special government employee comes to an end, I would like to thank President Donald Trump for his opportunity to reduce wasteful spending. The DOGE mission will only strengthen over time as it becomes a way of life throughout the government," unquote. So there you go. Elon Musk leaving Washington, D.C. Now, a couple of things. A, he got a beatdown politically right here in Wisconsin. He spent over $20 million of his own money to try to help get Brad Schimmel elected to the state Supreme Court. And, of course, Judge Susan Crawford won by 10 points. Wasn't even close.
That is what the kids call a blowout.
Is that what the kids call it? Very
Probably,
good. A blowout. All right. Yeah, so that was very embarrassing. And remember, Trump had said he does not like losers. So I don't think that sat well with Trump when Musk put in $20 million and still lost the race here in Wisconsin. That was part of the impetus for this, I think. Also, as the article points out there from the Associated Press, was not nearly as successful as he said he was going to be, and basically created chaos in Washington, D.C., and a lot of serious implications. In the meantime, there will be tens of thousands, if not millions of people around the world will die because of what Elon Musk did, namely cutting the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, the PEPFAR program, first started by former Republican President George W. Bush, which was a bipartisan initiative and is credited with saving millions of lives, particularly on the continent of Africa. Gone. So, yes, there's a serious side to that, and I get that. But I also think it's just kind of funny. Not the part I just said, but this whole very public love affair, non-sexual, we assume, between Elon Musk and Donald Trump.
No, it's absolutely funny because it's something that literally everybody besides potentially those two saw coming. You look at it and you're like, wow, Trump's going to get annoyed with him or he'll screw up once and be out. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
No, and the fact that they were so in love with each other politically or whatever, I also think there's a jealousy factor for Trump. I think he got jealous of the fact that Musk was essentially the shadow president. And I think Trump was like, yeah, time to go. And also there's lots of reports. Susie Weil, the chief of staff for Trump, she was no Musk fan either. So I thought it'd be fun to look at breakups. The breakup of Musk and Trump to a degree, and what your favorite breakup song is after the break here. And a shout out to Everett listening on WMDX here in Sun Prairie, a more serious take saying, hey, Todd, I get that it's kind of for a bit, but I would argue that your characterization of Musk leaving his role as Doge as a quote-unquote breakup with Trump is cutesy, but inaccurate, and maybe a little irresponsible. Not the first time I've been called cutesy. In reality, Musk is done, he writes, in a mission, quote-unquote, in a mission accomplished sort of way. He managed to stop investigations into his companies, awarded the company's government contracts worth millions more, and hijacked Americans' data, as well as seeding governmental agencies with his young lackeys and exerting additional influence no individual ought to have. All this while providing no evidence of the quote-unquote fraud and waste he was supposedly looking for. And no indictments or prosecutions or any individuals of groups supporting to have engaged in this fraud. Enjoy the show. Cheers. Well, thanks, Everett. I appreciate that. Yes, there's seriousness, but Everybody breaks up once in a while, and now Trump and Musk have their own. What's your worst breakup? A great breakup song on the other side. Stay with us on Civic Media.
Comma, comma, down, doobie-doo, down, down.
Listening to 92.7 WMDX.
Cam very upset
This
as well.
is your local
I'm sorry,
Civic
Cam.
Media radio station. Want to hear even more? Anytime? Find all of it
I
at
think it's a matter of not being
civicmedia.us.
completely
Dairy
serious all the
keeps
time
making
and taking
sales,
things with
putting
a
the
little bit of
market in a
laughter.
comfortable
'Cause
position.
people
I'm
can't-
Stephanie Hoff for
people
the
don't like to
Midwest
take
Farm Report along with
cod
you on a
liver
Thursday.
oil every morning.
Today we're talking
They'll take it
dairy
for a
with
week,
Ryan Yonkman.
but not every morning.
I think it's a
Vice
difficult
President
line
and
to walk
co-founder of
because you have the whole
Everett.
Tim
He
Walz
says
calling
butter
them
has
weird
had a
thing, which is
particularly
deemed an
robust
effective strategy
international play,
and good to
which
do.
is
It is
unusual.
weird. It is
The big
stupid.
takeaway
It
from
is
the
laughable.
storage last
It's
week
also deadly
was
serious.
butter.
Sure.
So
We've
I
been
think
hearing
it's a
about
difficult
the
line
idea
to
of
walk.
big
But I
butter
think we
exports
pointed that out.
internationally.
Yes.
We've got to remember, international butter is 82% fat, unsalted. So for us to make that switch, you really, really need a firm order. And the butter spread has been wide enough that indeed we are seeing big U.S.
And
butter
on a
exports
personal
leave
level,
the
there's
country.
nothing
Butter
Trump
stocks
hates
drew
more
down
than being
counter-seasonal.
infantilized.
Yes.
Since then, we've seen butter rally about
Not only that,
40
made
cents
fun of.
or 30 cents on the board. And that was really the biggest story coming out of that report, which does help the Class 3 market, believe it or not.
Ryan Yonkman along with us, Vice President
Not that we
and
should be tailoring our
co-founder
program
of
specifically
Everett.
to
We'll take a
upset
look
the
at how
president,
the
but
markets
it
closed
doesn't
on
hurt.
Thursday next.
Everybody wants to enjoy their grilling experience. That means you should think twice about what you're putting on the grill and what people will put in the center of their plate. Fabulous Farm Babe Pam Yankee here to remind you about Bavaria sausage. Not only do they have
Bavaria sausage?
award-winning products
I'm not
that you
supposed
can
to
pick
have
up at
sausage
their store
anymore.
located
You're
on the
not?
corner of
Oh.
My fatty
Road,
liver.
Fitch Road in Fitchburg.
guess,
Monday
yeah.
through Friday, 9 until 7. Saturday, 9 until 1. Always open online.
I don't know. If you get
I'm
any,
moving. Here's an announcement on our show page here
that your
for all
family
you
can
folks that
enjoy.
watch the secret
Simple
show
ingredients
on the
made
stream.
with
You'll know about it
savory
before anybody
flavors that
else.
are featured in all of Bavaria
Uh,
sausages.
Starting
selections.
sometime this
And
summer,
let's also
we're moving
remember
the show
about the
to
convenience
Italy.
and value you're getting.
It's a health
Think
concern.
about
I have to
that
eat a
protein
Mediterranean
that you're
diet.
featuring for
You
your
can't
family
eat a legitimate
and the
Mediterranean diet
inexpensive
in
cost
Wisconsin.
when you
So
purchase
I'm
Bavaria
I'm
sausage.
moving the show.
Check it out online.
Civic is going to cover my moving expenses, and the show will now originate from Italy.
We're going to buy you a nice villa.
Yes.
Sausage.
Or
The
as they
good
say,
work that
via.
the dairy markets have been
Villa?
doing
No,
didn't
via.
come to
Via?
fruition
No, villa.
today. June milk is down 19 cents at 19.16 a hundred.
Live
The
from
July
Sicily.
Contract down 43
They will
cents
pay for it
at
by firing everyone else
19.50
at the
a
company.
hundredweight. Barrel cheese closed a
I
half
wouldn't
a
say
cent
that.
higher at $1.87.
Wouldn't that be great,
The
though, if we came
40-pound
to you-
block cheese down
So,
a quarter
here.
of a cent at $1.94
Hey, Siri,
and 3/4.
what
Double A
time
butter
is it
closed
in
7
Italy right
cents
now?
lower at 2.45 and a half. That's after being up 10.5 cents
10:32.
this week. Grain
So
markets
it's going
are
to be a
mixed. Cash
it'll be a
corn
late
closed
night
4
show
cents lower at
from Rome.
$4.47 a bushel.
Wait, PM?
December new
Yes,
crop
it's
corn down
10:32
2
PM right now in Rome.
4.41 and a quarter.
So
Cash beans
I guess
closed
we'd be
3
on the
1/4
air
cents
from
higher at
9
10.51
till
and
11
3/4.
in
But
Italy.
November new crop beans down a quarter of a cent.
And then you could run it as a late night show.
Yes.
Even though it plays in the
Right,
afternoon
right.
here.
We could do a late night show from Italy in the afternoon in Wisconsin, and Todd would be eating a Mediterranean diet.
I think the late nightness in the afternoon may get us in a spot of trouble.
But I think it's a marvelous idea.
civicmedia.us.
Partly cloudy today.
Think of the
with a chance
guests we could have. The
showers
Pope.
or
We could do
small
a
storm
weekly
popping up
segment
this
with Pope
afternoon.
Leo from
Otherwise,
Chicago.
This evening, we dry things out, and tomorrow,
There was
plenty
a,
of sunshine and warmer.
a promo for
Highs
Pete's
today
show
will flirt with 70, and by
that I made
tomorrow,
recently that
reaching near
played once or
80.
twice and then got
I'm
pulled because it was too late
meteorologist
night.
Brittany Lau.
And I'm going
Really?
to play it for you now because I think it's funny.
All right, fantastic. Let's hear it.
Nightlight with Pete Schwaba.
Dr. Kristen Lyerly is here. You just came from an OBGYN conference.
They had a lube bar because there are lots of different kinds of personal lubricants that you can use.
When you say lube, do you need that to give birth the woman?
No, it's for sex. I recommend generally a water-based lube.
Are you writing this down, Conrad?
I cannot speak right now.
Is he blushing?
Nightlight with Pete Schwaba. Weeknights from 6 till 8 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the Civic Media app.
That may be one of the best promos you've ever done. And it got pulled? The censors pulled it?
I thought it was hilarious.
Did they use lube when they pulled it?
I hope so.
To providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than
70 countries
That was
worldwide,
fantastic.
bringing patients from sick
That's
to recovery,
amazing.
from
All right, we got
emergency
about
to
25
aid,
seconds.
from
Thank you.
crisis to care.
Welcome back to the Todd Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network. 35 minutes now past 3 o'clock on a Thursday, May 29th on Civic Media. Zomer's on the board, dialing up the two. Give me a lot of music in this segment. I'm very excited about this. Talking about breakups. Yeah, I get it. I know that we already identified in the last segment. There is a very serious side to Doge, the made-up agency that Elon Musk and Trump did, so-called Department of Government Efficiency. And it wrecked a lot of lives, and I
will continue to do so.
Continue to do so. And I've called it out several times in this program. But I also think there's just kind of a funny side, this very public bromance between Musk and Trump. I mean, Musk put in like over $200 million into Trump's campaign. And you think, oh my gosh. But the guy's a multi-billionaire. And Musk has, billions with a B more due to Trump doing him a solid for helping him get elected. And they act like they're all lovey-dovey in public, but reports are behind closed doors, they not getting along so much. And last night, Elon Musk announced he's leaving Washington, leaving the administration. And now The Hill reports today 3 top officials at Doge are also set to leave their special government employee roles at the White House. White House confirmed that advisor Steve Davis, spokesperson Katie Miller, and lawyer James Burnham are also departing Doge. These folks apparently have been with Musk at SpaceX before and now leaving as well. I'm not sure if the kids are leaving, the young kids, but we'll find out. Anyway, it got me thinking, because I think we've all been there, or at least a lot of us have. When you get into a relationship and it's hot and heavy and great, and then all of a sudden it's over. And it's just not going to work. And it burns out. And then we have all these breakup songs. There's a lot of great breakup songs. Billboard magazine, I think it's still a magazine. I mean, it's still around. They're online at billboard.com. But boy, when I started in radio, I'll happily date myself, in 1987.
Now, if you happily date yourself, is that a short-lived relationship?
If I happily date
if you're
myself?
dating yourself? Sorry, bad joke.
I've been dating myself for years, believe me. Anyway, back in 87, into the 90s, probably early 2000s, Billboard magazine would come to the station, and that you would find out what the number one song is in America on the top 40 charts, on country music, R&B. Jeff Perry will remember this. And you lived for, and that was the big deal back then for artists to be number one. Casey Kasem, America's Top 40. And he'd count down the songs every week, the 40 top songs. So Billboard magazine has put together a compilation, the top 100 breakup songs of all time. Give us a call. Do you have a breakup story? And, it has to be FCC compliant. But you have a breakup story you'd like to share, or what is your favorite breakup song? 855-752-4842, 855-752-4842, or text us on the Civic Media app. What is your favorite breakup song or a breakup story? 855-752-4842, 855-752-4842. Have you don't have to overshare if you don't, but have you ever been in a relationship where it was just a short-lived thing?
I have not. The closest, I've only dated one person. We dated twice, and they were both longer more
term.
serious relationships. The closest thing is I've been on a couple of dates with some people, and I would not call that, it didn't burn brightly and shortly. It's like a dud match. It just didn't burn at all.
Didn't burn at all. It was a dud. It was It
was kind of just like, all right, so conversations go two ways. It would be nice if you would also make eye contact. That was one of them.
Right.
So yeah, fun.
The vast majority of my relationships have been short term. Had one longer relationship back in college over a year, and then we broke up, and that was with a woman, and then I kind of figured things out after that. Longest relationship I had with a guy ever, like 8 months. Not even that, maybe 6-ish, something like that. But so I know about this all too well. But what have you ever had a short-lived romance and then broken up? Or what's your favorite breakup song? 855-752-4842, 855-752-4842, or you can text us on the Civic Media app. Download it today, 855-752-4842. Let's go to Ollie up the North Woods. Ollie, thanks for listening and calling in. Favorite breakup song, or have you had a short-lived then romance and breakup?
Oh, I don't kiss and tell, so we aren't going to know about the short-lived business.
Okay, all right.
But my favorite song is Patsy Cline, "Walking After Midnight."
Oh, yes, very
go
good.
Walking
right
after midnight.
Zombers could
right.
sing it.
You
We'll see if
got
he can
it.
bring it up. Yeah.
All right.
That's a great song. That is a really Patsy Cline. I love me some Patsy Cline. All right, Ollie, thank you very much. We won't
Okey-doke.
make it kiss and tell. Thanks for calling.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That was good. That was great. When you got a little Patsy Cline, bring her in. We'll try to play some of these as we have time. 85. Oh, look at that. Here we go.
I go out walking after midnight, out in the moonlight, just like we used to do. I'm always walking after midnight, searching for you.
Great Patsy Cline. Great job, Ollie. What's your favorite breakup song? Your all-time best breakup song? 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. Jill, listening on WMDX in Madison, has chimed in. Zombers, I think this was on from the Billboard Top 100, says, definitely I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. Great song to sing and to dance to. Look at that, Zombers and the DJ. Here we go.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong, and I learned how to get along, and so you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed that stupid lock, I should have made you leave your key. If I'd have known for just 1 second you'd be back to bother me. Go on now, go.
I love this
Walk
song.
out the door.
I wish we could. We play too much of it. Facebook gets angry at us. So that was that's just. We talked about this with Kira Sabin. This is music that can help us mentally.
Absolutely.
Right?
What's going to help you get over a breakup faster than jamming out to that
Then
one?
a great breakup song. 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. What's your favorite breakup song or a quick story about a
Megan
breakup?
here in the office says, ironically, my favorite breakup song is Somebody That I Used to Know by Gautier.
Oh.
But only because my husband and I always break out singing at full volume when it comes on. Not because it applies in any way.
That's someone that I used to know.
That is another good one.
All right, we got that. There we go. Well, that is also on the Billboard 100 list of best breakup songs. Somebody That I Used to Know. Great song. Nicely done by our own Megan here. 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. What is your favorite breakup song? Or in your opinion, the best breakup song? And you have a story about breaking up with someone. 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. We have Carol on the line, listening on WMDX here in Madison. Carol, thanks for calling. Breakup songs, what do you think?
Time for Me to Fly by REO Speedwagon.
Oh, Time for Me to Fly by REO Speedwagon. All right, well, she's gone, I think. Yeah, it was quick and it was just like most of my relationships, quick and over. All right, well, the Zombers will work on that one. He's brilliant over there on the board. It's like a DJ show here on a Thursday afternoon. What better way to spend an afternoon than great breakup song? Look at that, REO Speedway.
I've been around for you, been up and down for you, but I just can't get any relief. I've swallowed my pride for you, lived in life for you, but you still make me feel like a thief. You got me stealing your love away, 'cause you never give it. Peeling the years away, and we can't relive it.
REO Speedway, one of my favorite all-time groups. They were very, very big for a long time. REO Speedway in there. This is one, Zombers, we did not have on the list. It did not make Billboard, but I agree with this listener, Kathleen, listening on WISS in Oshkosh. Every Rose Has Its Thorn by Poison. That was at every party that I went to in college. Every single place. Great song. I remember we had it in college. There was a party at Cave of the Mounds, I think it is, in a cave. Here we go.
Every rose has its thorn, just like every night has its dawn, just like every cowboy sings a sad song. Every rose has its thorn.
My favorite part right there, where he goes, yeah, it does.
Oh, sorry, I
no, you got it.
faded
You
it
got
out.
it. You got it just right time. Yeah, it does. Poison. Every Rose Has Its Thorn. Oh, what memories. What's your favorite breakup song? What's the best breakup song? We're doing some of these according to Billboard magazine or a breakup story. 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. Monica, listening on WMDX in Mount Horeb. Monica, thanks for calling in. Favorite breakup song or story?
I think it's Walking the Floor Over You. It's either Ernest Tubbs or Hank Williams Sr. The chorus goes, I'm walking the floor over you. I can't sleep a wink. That is true. I'm hoping and praying that your heart breaks right in two. Walking the floor is good for you. So I've had some bad breakups.
That's fantastic. I'm walking the floor over you. That's great, Monica. Thank you for your listenership. We'll see if we can find that one. But some of these are just have terrible lyrics, nasty lyrics, and but they set it to music, so it doesn't sound quite so bad. 855-752-4842. Oh, you found it, Summers. Who is it by?
It is Ernest Tubb.
Here we go.
And we will see you on the other side.
Sounds good.
On the Todd Allbaugh Show.
I can't sleep a wink, that is true. I'm hoping and I'm praying as my heart breaks right in two. Walking the floor over you.
And he even times it out perfectly in the song.
This is the
That's my job.
Radio Network.
That's fantastic. Nobody better than Summers. All right.
Cam in Appleton says Ram Ranch is a good breakup song. I'm not playing that on the radio. I do love it. I did with my roommates in college. We learned how to play it on guitar and bass and stuff, and had one of my friends do the quote-unquote vocals.
Oh my God.
There's a video I have of us playing Ram Ranch.
But you can also shop Ignite Glass and Gifts.
Let's see here.
Lighters, collectibles, and
let's do Geezy's. What does Geezy have?
and plenty of other items delivered
What's
straight
this?
to your door or
I'm looking.
to family and friends. Madison's favorite for glass, gifts, and vape.
saw
Ignite
it.
Glass
Where
and
was it?
Gifts. Monona Drive, Williamson
Strange
Street,
by
and
Celeste.
Aldana Road.
Yeah, that's it. Strange
Plus,
by Celeste.
IgniteGlassandGifts.com.
Let's have
You're
that
listening to the
one.
American Democracy Minute, keeping your government by and for the people.
Lori,
New York
we'll
City
play
Mayor
the
Eric
Willie
Adams
Nelson version
had
of
his
that.
bribery
Always
and
on my
corruption
mind.
charges dropped by the U.S. Department of Justice under questionable circumstances in April. Because of those charges, the New York City Campaign Finance Board denied Adams matching campaign funds. Adams is now suing to get those funds. Mayor Adams was accused last December by the Biden DOJ with taking campaign donations from
if you
foreign
could
nationals
have time
and
with or without you,
allegedly
by you
using
two,
straw
that's
donors to
somebody
make
there.
them
That's good.
appear as legitimate donations. He was also accused of doing favors in exchange for luxury travel and attempting to conceal those
one more
transactions.
here.
We
Heather,
reported
what you
in
got?
February that the DOJ
Skater
dropped
Boy.
bribery and corruption
By
charges
who is
against
it?
Adams after Adams
Avril
visited
Lavigne.
Trump at
That's it.
Mar-a-Lago. An apparent Trump directive to drop the charges to the DOJ's Southern District of New York resulted in the resignations of 7
All right, we'll do
experienced
those, and then
prosecutors.
maybe a
As
couple others
result
we
of
got
the
queued up. Oh
corruption
my
charges
gosh.
and paperwork omission,
Some
the
people
New York
calling in.
Campaign
Yeah, I'm getting
Finance
so much
Board
stuff ready, I haven't
denied
been able to take
Adams
any of
$10
them.
million in
All right,
matching
hang
funds
on.
to his
Says Pink
campaign
Triangle
from
by
the
Weezer.
state's
That is a good one.
taxpayer-funded campaign
We should have. See,
finance option. Now
this
that the
was a
charges have
decent
been
idea.
dropped,
Thank you,
Politico
everybody,
reports that Adams is
for
now suing the
justifying
board to
my
recover
cause.
$3.4 million of those denied funds. The Campaign Finance Board will reportedly revisit Adams' eligibility for funding in July. Find our past reports on Adams at AmericanDemocracyMinute.org. I'm Brian Deal.
The lyrics for Pink Triangle by Weezer, the chorus is, I'm dumb, she's a lesbian. And so on.
All right. We probably won't. We'll take the calls. We'll just say we probably don't have time to play all the songs, but unless it's on the list, so we'll take the calls.
Of a common goal. Everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes.
From strangers to friends, friends into lovers, and strangers again. Back to this room, back to our room.
Welcome back to the Todd Allbaugh Show. Hopefully you're chilling out. 8 minutes before the hour of 4 o'clock on the Civic Media Radio Network. Zommers, which one is that you queued up there?
That is Strange by Celeste, as requested by Chris Geezy.
Very good. Geezy's listening in. Strange by Celeste. Strange indeed. We're talking about great breakup songs. What's your favorite breakup song or best breakup song of all time? Billboard magazine has a list of 100. I've been playing some of them, asking for best breakup songs or a quick breakup story, if you have one, after Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Yes, there's a serious side to it, but they're kind of breaking up. Musk announced that he's leaving Washington, D.C. after creating chaos or chaos. Not sure if we're going to get to all the songs for you, but want to get people a chance. Lots of calls. I love it. 855-752-4842. Let's go to Al in Campbellsport, beautiful Campbellsport, Wisconsin. Al, what's your favorite or best breakup song?
Breaking Up is Hard to Do by Neil Sedaka.
Right? Yeah, it's a classic. Breaking Up is hard.
He had that out. He put that out twice.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Yeah, we let off the segment.
And then I think it was 1975.
Yeah, that's awesome. We let off with that one. So we played it already, but great song. Really appreciate your listening. Thanks so much for.
Guys.
Yep, thank you, Al. Appreciate you listening. 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. Let's go back to the phone lines, and we'll check in with Pat, east of Milwaukee. Pat, thanks for calling on WAUK. Favorite breakup song?
It's Hank Williams' famous Cold, Cold Heart.
Oh.
Saddest song he ever wrote.
Cold, Cold Heart by Hank Williams. All right.
Well, you got to play.
All
It's
right.
really short minutes.
All right. We'll see if we're running out of time. We'll see if we can find it. Thanks, Pat. Appreciate it. 855-752-4842. Thomas is that good. See, look at this. Here we go. Cold, Cold Heart.
I try so hard, my dear, to show that you're my every dream. Yet you're afraid each thing I do is just some evil scheme.
That's great. Hank Williams, who's better than that? Favorite breakup songs, 855-752-4842, 855-752-4842. I've lost the text. Oh, here it is. Lori, up in beautiful Hayward, Buzz of the North, WBZH, listening to us in beautiful Hayward. Lori says, Always on My Mind by Elvis Presley. Well, we're going to queue up, with all due respect, my favorite version of that song, Willie Nelson. I think we got that one. Willie Nelson, Always on My Mind.
If I made you feel second best, girl, I'm sorry I was blind. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind.
The great Willie Nelson. There you go. Fantastic. All right, Heather, checking in Eau Claire, says Skater Boy. How do you pronounce it?
Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne.
There, that's it. Here we go.
He was a skater boy. She said, see you later, boy. He wasn't good enough for her. She had a pretty face, but her head was up in space. She needed to come back down to earth.
That's fantastic. That's a good song. She says, it's from my sister who teaches American Sign Language, said, I didn't realize it was a breakup song until a student translated it for a project. Seeing it signed, I had an aha moment. Like an Oprah aha moment.
I found out it was a breakup song right now. I mean, it makes sense. But...
Oh, my niece, who just graduated from Eau Claire Memorial High School, saying, I'd say California and Me by, is it Laufey? Laufey. I'm not sure. I'm proud. We'll see if we can bring it up here. Thank you, Isabel. Appreciate it, Iz. And congratulations once again. Now, here we go.
Holding back my tears, I couldn't make you stay.
That's very emotional. Very emotional. All right. Let's get, I'm not sure we get to all the phone calls. Hang on, we'll try to, but time is running short here. I want to get Taylor Swift, Zommers. We Are Never, Ever Getting Back Together. I think one of the best breakup songs, according to Billboard magazine, too.
We called it off again last night, but this time I'm telling you, we are never, ever, ever getting back together. We are never, ever, ever getting back together. You go talk to your friends, talk to my
One of the best songs ever.
It's incredibly catchy. It doesn't
really
leave
is.
your head.
I love that so much. All right. Should we try to sneak one more in? How about the little Kenny Chesney to round it out? Not so much a breakup song, but after it's all over kind of thing. And you're healing. You're healing a little bit. And you're thinking about the person you broke up with. And you're thinking about him or her. And you hear this on your truck. And you're like, yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Here we go. A little Kenny Chesney, Knowing You.
Knowing you, you're still wild and free. And knowing you're probably way over me. But God, we were so alive. I was a kid on a carnival ride, holding my breath till the moment when you were gonna leave me too soon. But I'd do it all over, 'cause damn, it was good knowing you.
There you go, rounding out our top 100 breakup songs, according to Billboard magazine. Allbaugh. Great job, Zommers. Thank you so much. That was
We'll
fantastic.
see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, everybody. Maggie Dawn is next.
This is not.
That was fantastic.
We got it in there.
Great
We
job.
did it. We did
best segment of the week so far, in my opinion.
That was fun.
That was great. Great. And thank you for everybody that called. Sorry we couldn't get to all the calls.
Everybody. Yeah.
All right. Fantastic.
There just wasn't time.
There just wasn't
All right.
time.
Adios, everyone.
Bye-bye.